Okay, well, I'm here checking out the chickens because tomorrow is supposed to be the day in which they go in, and I just got word that one didn't make it today. So anyway, I'll show you what we got here. These are our chicken tracks. You can see they started all the way over there, and you can see sort of the grass, the way it's beaten down. We move them every day, so that's why the 40-20 is out here. We use the 40-20 to pull the tractors, these chicken tractors, and then what we'll do is on the next round of chickens, we'll run them on these in-between lanes where the grass is still pretty full. We had the cows in here a couple days ago. That's why you see some of these patties in here, and they were eating down the grass because the chickens do not like high grass. So the other thing is we have some weather coming in today, so chickens don't like high grass. They also don't like puddling and wet. Luckily we do have a little bit of warmth on our side, which is really good, so that's helpful. But again, they're not into any kind of water precipitation, so we'll use these tarps to fully enclose the chicken tractor here. So it's something we've figured out through the years. We're probably, I don't know, we're probably on the verge of buying one of the big chicken tractors where you could probably have like 500 birds in at one time. But here, we'll take a look in here. I know a lot of people are curious where their birds are, but you can see they're on nice fresh grass. They've grown really well. And when you have, you know, this many birds, I guess you'd say in one pop together, you're gonna have some that are a little bit smaller. So what we may do is hold them back a little bit before we process them. So give them a chance to grow. We'll figure out what it is we're gonna do here. It's always decision making. We've moved the feedings up like for the last week just to put, again, more size on in a short period of time. We've gone to 3 times a week, 3 times a day feeding, so they have pretty much an open buffet that they can take advantage of throughout the day. So, but you know, again, I want to say this because I don't know if I've said it enough. You know, these chickens have arrived here in February. Mid-February they arrived as chicks. So the first round of birds takes forever because the climate here is so cold. So they're using a lot of this fuel as energy just to stay even. And they don't start growing really well until the weather kicks on in our favor. So that's what's taken this first round of chickens so long to get going and to grow. So that's where we're at. That's why it's a long go for the first round of chickens. And raising chickens in upstate New York is very, very tough because the climate is like, even today, it's what, Memorial Day, and again, we want to remember our fallen soldiers today. We want to thank our veterans, and we want to also thank those that are currently in the armed forces, you know, keeping us free. We'll get more into that later, for sure. But anyway, these chickens, you know, it's when you have them for 16 weeks, like we lost one this morning, the risk of death goes up every day that they're here, for different reasons, right? Different reasons, you know. Sometimes, unfortunately, we lost one. It got caught in the chicken tractor. It happens. But ultimately, you know, we have a pretty high survival rate, especially with these Freedom Rangers, which we're really happy about. So, unfortunately, our perfection rate is not where we want it to be. But we'll work that out. We'll just work to get better and better, and figure out what we can do. But sometimes they get sick. They get a cold. Sometimes, you know, if they have any kind of I guess you could say, if they get a cut or some kind of an abrasion, and there's any blood showing and we don't happen to see it, you know, the other chickens will just basically peck the weakest one to death. They're a very competitive group, the chickens. So if you haven't raised a flock of chickens, you know, you may not know that, but they're a group that could get very aggressive with one another. But this is what they just came off of. So we're hoping this regenerates. I've had thoughts of, like, you know, after the chickens come through, because they've dropped so much chicken manure on the ground, and again, we do move them daily, you know, should we maybe drop some seed behind them as well, and they have a nice, there's nice environment for the seed to grow. So that's something we're thinking about, because, you know, every time we run these guys through this tract of land, you know, we don't really have the opportunity to run them through again for some time. So we're just trying to figure out the best path to really maximize our chicken production. Our customers really want the chickens. We have them right now sold out on the website. We're going to do a pre-sale for the next 475 birds coming up real soon. But chicken is a crop of ours that we can do really, really well with. We just need, we just got to figure out the plan here. We have 2 more chicken tractors over there. We're building another one in the back right now. So that would put us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. My goal for this year was actually to figure out how to run 10 chicken tractors through here. But we may fall a little bit short of that this year. But if we were running 10 chicken tractors at once, 50 birds per tractor, you know, that's 500 birds in a, you know, per clip. So, yeah, like I said, our goal this year was to try to get 3,500 birds processed. And again, I'm always thinking and saying, okay, what's one of our most popular products? And locally, it's chicken. So I got to figure out how we can get that chicken production up. It may require us to rely on some other producers locally to help us raise birds. It may even require us to form relationships with some chicken producers, you know, local farmers. We don't work with big producers at all down south, so we can raise chickens all year round and have that going. So that's what we're looking for. So if anybody in our area wants to raise some chickens, reach out, put a note in the comment. We'd be open to your help and discussing with you. And if anyone down south wants to raise some chickens in the winter, we'd be open for that too. So reach out and let's see what we can do together. You know, part of our model here at Freedom Farms, originally it was us doing everything, you know, because, you know, we wanted to really understand what leads to great product, what leads to great animal development, and ultimately what leads to great tasting meat for our customers. So ultimately, in the beginning, we did everything, and we do everything. So, but part of our original blueprint and plan, look at those geese out there flying off the pond, was to say, hey, how do we work together? How do we create a model that allows our customers to get amazing meats, and then how do we keep farmers farming? Because, you know, the marketing side of farming is difficult, it's challenging, it's hard, right? It's hard to develop a customer base, especially because most farmers don't want to be doing that. Their love and their passion for farming is exactly that, it's farming. So we totally get it. And, you know, when Lauren and I started the farm, that was, you know, a part of the plan. It was saying, look, how do we keep American farms open? We just did a video shoot 2 days ago, and I want to say this number was very staggering that I shared in one of our ads, and I apologize for the wind. I don't know, we got some storms coming through today. The figure was this: in the last 5 years, 140,000 American farms have closed. 140,000 American farms have closed, done, no more. Now, if you just say conservatively, and this is, you're gonna laugh at what I'm gonna say next, right? If we just say conservatively, if every one of those 140,000 farms was 1 acre each, these were 1 acre farms, folks, more like 1 acre homesteads, but let's just assume they were 1 acre. And again, this is it's early morning, so for math purposes, we're keeping this simple, but that's 140,000 acres of American farmland that is closed down in the last 5 years. Now, if I had to guess, the average tract was probably closer to 100 acres. So if you take 140,000 farms times 100 acres, you're starting to look at some serious numbers in terms of how much farmland was either A, not passed to the next generation, or B, is not being farmed anymore and is turning into briars and weeds, developments, condos, you name it. So, or even worse, right? You have foreign entities that are coming in, creating shell companies and LLCs and buying these farmlands under the guise of an American company, but they're really overseas, and foreign entities that are buying them. So that's what we're facing here, right? So when I said one of our goals was to keep farmers farming, that's a big goal, because if you keep farmers farming and you keep farmland being farmed, you have control over your food supply domestically. And if you lose your farmland and you are losing farmers, what starts to happen? What has to happen? You start having to import. And when you start importing meats and you start importing, you have no idea what you're getting. So that was the whole idea, to say, hey, if we can grow this farm to a certain level and keep growing this farm through great customers, great service, great product, and still, maintain ourselves as a family farm and a family op, but engage other family operations and other family farms to help as producers, we will keep farmers farming and keep farmers, most importantly, optimistic, and we can work together and have a nice support network and team to continue to grow this situation and grow this operation here. But again, those farmers are going to get paid and compensated for their work with a guarantee, because they know, hey, you know what, my product, although I'm not selling it direct to the consumer, my product is going direct to the consumer. It's going direct to families and tables nationwide, and we can focus not on having to sell and market and do all that, because we're not good at it. It's not our thing. We don't like it. We love to farm, and we can focus on what we love to do, which is farming. So that's our that's the goal. That's the goal of the farm. It was like, hey, we don't have 1,000 acres, 2,000 acres, 5,000 acres of farmland ourselves, so we can take this place to the max and to the limit, which we are doing. We could expand by, again, purchasing land and acquiring land, forming land syndicates and things like that we're going to do. But most importantly, the power arm of the business and of the objective to keep farmers farming and keep American agriculture going strong is to utilize the expertise and the passion of other farmers in our region and beyond to allow us to do what it is that we want to do. So, comment down below. I think it's an important discussion for us all to have together. And, how do we continue to serve the American people and create a great food supply and maintain our freedom, our food freedom, our lifestyle freedom. And we do that by working together. And I thought this was a fitting message today, because freedom is an important word. It's not something that should be taken for granted ever. We had a lot of people in our country's history fight for our freedom, and those that are out there continuing to fight for our freedom, and the great veterans out there that make up our country, that have dedicated their life and service to our freedom. And we can't forget that. Today's Memorial Day. It's a special day. It's not just a day off. It's not just a day to drink and have barbecues and things like that. It's a day to really think about what your freedom means. What does it mean to you? And freedom is fragile. It can be taken away very quickly. It is being taken away rather quickly. Some people see it, some people don't. But it is important that we remember those that have lost their lives preserving freedom, and we support those that continue to fight for our freedom. And when we built this brand, you could tell what we were about just by the name of the farm, Freedom Farms. We realized very quickly how fragile freedom is and how quickly it could be taken away. And when we built the brand, we're so proud of who we service in terms of customers. We have a ton of veterans, we have a ton of military families, police officers, firemen, EMS, great people that work hard to keep us safe, keep us healthy, and keep us free. And that's really what we want to maintain and continue. And we do it through you know, farmland, and protecting our food supply. And our great soldiers do it by you know, taking orders and doing what they're supposed to do to, you know, to ensure that we all remain free and safe. So that's just today's message. Thank you to everybody out there. Thank you to the armed forces, veterans, those that have fought, continue to fight. We appreciate everything that you do. And you always have a home here at Freedom Farms. We'll always support you. We'll always be in your corner. And thank you for that. So that's today's message. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great life. Sorry for the wind. Hang in there. Have a great Memorial Day and stay strong. And if you ever need meat, we are freedomfarms.com. Head on over there. Order your meats. We'll send it right to your house. And lastly, we have 𝐲𝐨𝐿 coming to the farm in July 20th. We'd love to have you spend the day out here with us on this beautiful farm. Be a part of our great agricultural community. Meet the pigs, meet the cows, meet Joel, spend the day walking the pastures with him. It's going to be a real private, intimate event. It's not going to be a big workshop with thousands of people. It's going to be private, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be great. So I'll put a link down below. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you soon. Stay strong, stay free.